What's up? Welcome to Destination Station, and thank you for your patience. This is a late discussion, and the reason why it is so late is because I want everyone to have the time to go see the movie that we were talking about tonight. And tonight we're talking full spoiler discussion on the new, highly anticipated movie, the big movie of the weekend, I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. Now, there's a lot to unfold with this movie, so if you have not seen this movie, and you don't want to be spoiled or know anything about it, I suggest you hit that the like button before you head out. But come back and watch this after you've done seeing that movie. But if you have seen this, like a lot of people have already, because this is like spoilers all over the internet, everyone's talking about it, especially with the big reveals and just everything. And we're gonna dive deep into all that tonight. And I'm gonna get to the chat and see what y'all think about it. So y'all, I want to hear what y'all think. Put your ideas. Did all your predictions and theories come to fruition, or what? Were you disappointed, or did you love it? Did you hate it, or you're somewhere in between? So yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on this movie, because this movie, you know, regardless of what you think about it, it's kind of mixed, and because of the divisive ending. So I want to talk about it. So again, this is a full spoiler discussion. You have been warned. And yeah, and also, if I don't get to your comments in time, because sometimes I get backed up and everything, super chats do go to the front of the line and are very much appreciated, and helps to support this channel and keep live streams like this going to float. And yeah, let's talk about I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I'm not alone. I got some buddies with me that have seen the movie, and we're gonna be going balls deep into this tonight. So buckle up. Grab your popcorn, grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite drink. Mine tonight, I got me a Monster, if you can see it. Yeah, Monster, and some peanut M&Ms. So, munch away, and let's have some fun. All right, let me bring on my first guest to the panel tonight. And he's a man, he's the myth, he's the legend. He does everything. He's got all things that are good, like old Greg. But you know him as Dom, but I call him Domalama Ding Dong. What's up, bro?
Domalama Ding Dong, Domalama Ding Dong, here comes my Ding Dong. What's going on, everybody?
Every time you sing it, you add something new to it. It's all right, man. It's your song. You do it. you do you, bro. But what's up, buddy? How's everything going? What's new in your life? And you know, not to go too far into it, have you seen I Know What You Did Last Summer? Let the viewers know.
Yeah, I've seen the I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025 in theaters, and I'll give a brief summary of my experience. I did enjoy it, but I don't think it's the worst, but I also don't think it's the best. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Because we're going to get more deeper into it. And so, yeah, there's a lot to unfold about this one. There's a lot. So, all right. You got anything new going on? I saw that you got something new going on. You want to tell the viewers, or you want to save that for something else?
You know what? I'll tell them.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, so there's I can't really speak too much about it, but there is a fan film I'm working on, or I just worked on, and it's going to be very special. I'll let you guys know in the coming month of August when it's about to be released, and we're gonna bring on a good old friend and content creator by the name of Hollywood Horror Film Club, and he's gonna, hopefully we'll set up an interview with Destin and on Marcus's channel, and talk to him about, you know, the film and the making of it, what's going on, what was the process, this and that, show a trailer, show the film probably, and yeah, and just get down to the get down, you know. So that is what's coming up for sure. And also I am still working on my short film, and I still need to get that done, but I'm also gonna work on a fan film myself, and in the meantime, and it's gonna be a Jason fan film as well. And It's going to be about a little short sequel to Jason Goes to Hell. So that's what's coming up, you guys, on the channel, on my channel, and also on Destin's channel and Marcus's channel for the interviews.
Yeah, sounds great, bro. Sounds good. So go subscribe to Dom Alama Ding Dong, and show him some love. Show him some love. We'll be there, bro.
Hell yeah.
And speaking of Marcus, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy that he goes by many names. He goes by many names, but we all know him and love him as I shot him 6 times. What's up, bud?
What's going on, man? What's going on, Dom? What's going on, everybody in chat? Happy to be here as always, ready to get down to the get down and talk some spoilers for I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. I have seen the movie. Much like Dom, I'll give a quick summary. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but there are aspects that could be done better, and we are going to talk about that here in the stream for sure.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. This is going to be a very interesting one. You know, it's I see why it's so divisive. Let's say that. So again, you have been warned that this is a spoiler discussion tonight. I feel like a lot of people's had a chance to go see the movie. But if you haven't seen it, hit the like button, head out, come back and watch this. Or if you just don't care about being spoiled on anything, hang out anyways. And put your thoughts down in the comments. It's good to see everybody. We got Val, our hashtag digital bouncer, kick controls asses one stream at a time. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Marcus, Des, and Dom. Hell yeah. It sounds like the 3 amigos. Like it sounds like 3 men and a baby. Who's the baby?
Oh shit.
Val? Nice. Oh, we do have a super chat in the house. Super chats do go to the front of the line. It's from Shannon, my good friend Shannon, over at Talking Star Wars, with a $2.79 super chat. My friends thought Stevie was related to Ben. Yeah, you know, wouldn't that have been something? I think that would have been like this movie needed when it came to Stevie's reveal. You know, big spoiler. I mean, we're jumping in here now. And we are going to be all over because there's other spoilers than just the reveal of the movie. There's other things that happen in the movie that we need to talk about. But touch on this. Super chats do go to the front of the line. But Stevie thought of Stevie being related to Ben. That would have been interesting. You know, maybe something like that. You know, like I feel like when it came to the motive, when it came to that reveal, there needed to be some extra layers. And I feel like it just, you know, whenever it's just like, what? Like, that's why? Or, you know, that's all it is, you know? Like, it just did not, for an old school I Know What You Did Last Summer fan, as myself, it didn't work 100% for me. It did not, with both of the reveals, and we'll get on the other reveal as well. But with Stevie's, she was fine. It was kind of expected, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people was expecting her. You know, she was kind of the oddball out of the group, you know, even from the trailers and then even in the story of the movie. But when she was revealed, it felt like a copy and paste of something that we got like an urban legend. Like, give us a little another like layer of her motive. Like, also, she was related to Ben Willis or something, you know. And I think that would have been hit. I think that would have hit. What do you think, Marcus? Do you like that idea?
I wouldn't have minded it if she would have been related to Ben Willis. I do feel like you would have to like explain a little bit more. Like, maybe did Ben have a brother? Did Will have a kid, you know, that we didn't know about and stuff? I just rather preferred it not been so much an urban legend. I felt like Sarah Pidgeon, she played the role of a crazy person pretty well, to where you could have just did something completely different. Like, But if I'm being honest, to me, they chose the wrong one to be the killer. You know, I felt like, and not just because I had a theory about it or whatnot, I felt like Ava was better suited to turn and be a killer, you know, and stuff like that, especially because out of all the friend group, you know, even in that moment when Stevie, you know, Stevie to me in the moment when they all agreed to, you know, bury the secret, she wasn't as like emotional or like distraught or disgusted with the others as much as Ava was. When Ava, you know, turned her back on them and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, see, maybe this is, you know, maybe this is how I thought before going into the movie. This is how it's going to play out because of how they basically showed no remorse. She's going to come back a whole year later. Nobody really knows what she's been up to. And now some shit's going to go down. And maybe we'll get a little backstory as to why, other than why, you know, that night, other than she decided to become a killer or whatnot and stuff. But once we got to that year later and we get to Danica's new, you know, bridal shower or whatever the hell it was and stuff, and you see Stevie there, because in the beginning, I mean, we're going full spoilers, you know, so might as well get it out the way. At the beginning of the movie, Stevie was kind of distant. She, you know, because she was working at Danica and Teddy's engagement party, you know, as part of the liquor crew and stuff, the bartending.
Yeah, the catering.
And we kind of get a little quick backstory and to her regards to her relationship with the friend group. She was basically middle class, really didn't fit in much with them because they were more like upper class and stuff like that. And something happens with her father to where they basically stop being friends with her, so on and so forth. And then the year later, where we see her all buddy with Danica, I'm like, fucking A. They made it so obvious in the trailers to the point where I'm like, okay, it's so obvious. Maybe they're just doing that on purpose, and she's not going to be the killer. You know that, Destin. I even made a theory video about it. I thought she was going to be our actual Ava. And I kind of feel like they got it wrong. They should have had her be like the final. I feel like she had more Julie James nuances in regards to once like we got to like just the look of her. You know what I mean? I felt like the overall look, she looked and kind of felt more like a Julie James. Even when we got to reveal her and her motive and stuff, like the guilt in the moment of knowing that she still said, let's go, but she didn't know that was somebody she was close to. You know what I mean? Like you've kind of felt that emotion, but it's just at the same time, it's not spoiling who the killer, of course, is an urban legend, but it was too much urban legend.
Yeah, man, it was like I said, copy and paste. I was like, man,
I feel like this. If you were going to have her be a killer, maybe have her. If you're not even going to have her related to Ben, just could have had her as somebody who, you know, loved the legacy of, you know, the old murders and wanted to restore it.
Yeah.
You know, I rather would have had that. I would have rather enjoyed that, you know, than what we got, you know, and we'll get into more on Stevie because yeah.
Well, like I said, with like layers with her reveal and reasoning, it would have been cool. Like, okay, so that's her reasoning. I mean, that's fine. You want to do a copy and paste thing, but like before that, they didn't, you know, she didn't want to relapse. She didn't, you know, she had a very troubled past. It would have been cool to see that troubled past had something to do with Muse Watson's character, like the fisherman, like some kind of connections. Like that's why, like maybe her dad died and or whatever, or was a killer. You kind of discovered that in
who the hell was her dad?
Right, you don't know, but I mean that would have been easy writing and an easy couple of lines to just give it a little bit more. Oh, now it makes sense. Like she was recovering because her dad did this or whatever, and then she's been and then this happened, and now she's given in, you know. So yeah, Dom, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I agree. I think that if they were to incorporate Ben Willis to be her father, and then that's her father that apparently, you know, died, quote unquote. Who knows? Maybe Ben Willis is still alive, but we'll just say he's dead for now. But I would say like if they connect that in a way where it's like she's dealing with the trauma and the the guilt or the struggle of losing her father, and then she's going through these other stuff as well with her friends and all that. And then, but through all that, she meets Ray at Ray's bar, and she starts working there. And then Ray and her become close. He ends up, you know, putting her. I think she went to rehab, right, or something like that in the movie.
I think that's what they said. Like,
yes.
yeah.
She went to like rehab because of Ray. She got better because of Ray. And I think that leading up to the accident, before the car pulls up, I think that there should be a thing where they explain that Ray was picking up Cooper. Cooper was also close to Stevie, but Ray was even closer. So I think if they picked up, if he was the one in the 90, like his truck from 98, picking up Cooper, and they're driving down the same road that the group of friends are there, they're messing around, and then they go off the road. Cooper was the one that died in the wreck and was washed ashore.
Or did he?
Or did he? Right? Did he?
Yeah.
Did he
dum? Did he do?
Did he do? And
anyway,
so, but Ray survived, and Ray, ends up meeting up with Stevie and explains everything, and Stevie explains what happens, and then they both come up together for a whole year and plan how to strike and attack and torment the group of friends and stuff like that. I think that would have been a way more effective motive than what we got.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It just needed something a little more. It's one of those, like, really? That's what... I mean, after all this time, that's it? Like, I felt like it wasn't enough. I just felt like it wasn't enough.
And I'll say this real quick, too. And this goes for them as a whole, especially, but in regards to Stevie, when Ava says to her, you said to leave the crash too, basically, and stuff, or whatever. Well, that's because I thought Teddy was going to the fucking police. Well, if that was the case, why didn't you just wait there for the cops to show up?
Right, exactly.
Like,
no. Afterthought, poor writing.
Yes, so it's just like, like I said in my little out of theater reaction yesterday, if you're looking for a fun, campy, not taking itself so seriously, kind of goofball slasher, you will have a lot of fun with this movie. But if you are a fan of I Know What You Did Last Summer, and the legacy and the lure of it all, and the characters of Julie James and the characters of Ray Brunson and stuff like that, you were left very disappointed with the direction they went with both of these characters in this movie, and how we really got nothing sewed up in regards to like certain things we wanted to know from the past. You know what I mean? And stuff like, does Julie still have her nightmares and her hallucinations and stuff like that? I mean, what was Ray's letter, that he supposedly got in the original? Yeah. Those are questions now we're never going to get answered. So,
yeah. And see, that would have been that, like, that would have been cool, like with the second reveal, like with Ray being the killer. It would have been cool if, like, you finally realized, like maybe he was Ben's accomplice, like taken under his wing or whatever, but he never wanted Julie to get killed, so like Julie was his. And it would have been cool if, like, he had this whole discussion, like, yeah, we met out here on the docks, and explained it to me, and I told him that you had nothing to do with it, Julie, but Julie left him at the end of the day. And then, like, and she could have been like, well, you got a letter too, and you said, and he could just be like, did I? Did you ever see that? Like, I think that would have been, just something a little bit more interesting to kind of make you go back and think, on the last one. But we do have another super chat in the house. It's from Shannon again with a $2.79 super chat. Also, who's coming after Brandy and Julie? Stevie? Okay, we're into another spoiler here. The mid-credit scene. It's not the after-credit scene, but it's the mid-credit scene. You get the reveal that Brandy is sitting here on the couch watching the aftermath, the news of what happened to Julie and Ray. And then next thing you know, Brandy gets a knock on the door, and it's Julie. And she comes in, and she's got a letter saying it still isn't over, or something like that. It's not over, or something. And Brandy was like, "Whose ass have we got to kick?" Or whatever. And it kind of ends. It kind of ends on like a little fun note, more than like, "Oh, I'm scared." It definitely didn't feel like that. It was like, all right. This is definitely, Powerpuff Girls to the rescue type of thing we're going on here. Not trying to hate or anything, but I'm like, all right. But throughout all that, first let's address Shannon's question here, or her idea, before I get into a little bit more of this scene. Who's coming after Brandy and Julie? And I have a thought that, for one, we already know that Stevie's still alive from dialogue, from what Danica and Ava says. Did you hear that Stevie's still alive? I'm like, the hell? Like, are you saying like it's an okay thing, or are you, like, they didn't even seem shocked by it. They just seemed not very phased. They made it kind of a hokey, fun little thing at the end, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Is this like 10 Things I Hate About You? Like, I don't know. Like, I was like, I didn't know what was going on here. It just kind of shifted gears there at the end. I mean, I wasn't completely mad about it, but the whole Stevie being alive, why would Stevie come after Julie and Brandy? Because that was not her motive. They are not like who she's after. Ray was. Now, if Ray survived, did they say in that news article? I can't remember. Did they say that Ray
was deceased? Said he was deceased.
Really? Okay. All right. Because I was like listening, but I was more concerned about what Brandy, how she was like reacting to the whole situation. I wasn't buying it that it seemed very forced dialogue. So, I mean, I think that bring the fisherman back, or bring the fisherman's son back, Will Benson, or both. One thing, and I saw it earlier in the chat, and I will get to the chat. I'm sorry, I know I'm behind, but super chats do go to the front line. But one thing is, you got all the original characters in here except for one. Why isn't he in this? Ron Philippe. Why is everybody else in this movie, but not him? You would think that if you're going to bring out 3 or 4, you can't bring back that 4th one, because he's still acting to today. He's still in shows and stuff. They couldn't bring him back. Wouldn't that have been like a really cool? And that's another spoiler we'll get into. But what I'm saying is, here, could it be his? Could Barry be back to get Julie and Brandy, or just Julie and Brandy's just in the mix? Because it doesn't really seem like anyone's after Brandy. Brandy's just being a friend.
Well, I'm gonna say, go ahead, Dom, because I think I know what you're about to say.
Well, if you looked at it, not only did it say it's not over, also on the picture it showed Julie and Brandy's face was crossed off.
Oh, that's right. Damn.
Yeah. So I think it's someone else that we haven't seen yet. And it's definitely somebody that is either from the past, maybe one of the Egans, or somebody that is like, who knows, like maybe it's one of Ben Willis's relatives still out there.
No, I got it. What if Julie didn't get that letter? What if she wrote it herself? And
That'd
this is
be
her time to snap.
I pondered that too.
Because why didn't Brandy get it? Why is Julie getting it?
I mean, the
Unless
only
Mackay Piper's back.
he's
Piper.
fucking finito. That's over for him. I feel like this. If they were to do that, you can kiss this franchise goodbye for a long, long time, because you already got people pissed off with how you did this movie. Well, like a lot of the OGs, you know what I mean? This movie, I will say this, is definitely made more for the new generation of kids. It is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you turn around and you have it revealed that this post-credit scene with Julie, the whole "it's not over," Brandy's face being crossed off, Carla and stuff, and you reveal that she's the killer, who are you going to? Oh man, I'll be honest. I don't know if this franchise can recover from something like that for a long, long time. I'm talking about like maybe you're looking at 20 plus years dormant.
Yeah.
What
if they got to go back to the Bahamas? They're like, there's like a clue, like you got to go back, and I guarantee you they would like plug something in that like something happened in that we haven't seen yet, like Brandy, came across somebody that worked at the hotel, but we didn't see them as the viewer, like something. But I think it would be pretty wild if Julie, if she is revealed, she's like, how else was I going to be able to get you out here? Like now Julie wants to bury everything, like everybody that was ever involved.
I mean, I personally, I don't know if that, I just don't see how that could work, man, because it's just like, one, you already in this movie kind of didn't do much with her. So you already kind of got OG fans mad with that. You know what I mean? You should have had more done with her a little bit. And then if you are going to focus a little bit more on her in this next movie, and then you decide to make her a killer, for all that, I feel like people would have rather enjoyed her snapping with Ray in this movie and they were in it on it together.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the town of Southport basically villainized them for the past and shit like that or whatever. And they, just said, after having all these years of trauma, said, fuck it. We going Bonnie and Clyde this shit. You know what I mean?
No, so, dude. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm about to say a lot of people, I felt like if you're going to turn Julie into a killer, they would have more enjoyed it if it would have been with Ray, because that makes sense because of the history. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. I will say this in regards to Shannon's question. It's somebody else. It ain't Stevie.
No, I don't think it's Stevie.
And whoever it is, it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to be going against Stevie themselves. Like, are we going to see two different killers working with their own motives and working separate of each other and stuff? But who could it be to the past, man? Like, I talked to you a little bit about this, Destin. I feel like with the way Danica, the way her scene played out, I do feel like you can make the argument maybe Will Benson can come back. But here's another interesting facet. And it would take some great writing. And I'm sorry, this next movie, if this does well enough financially to where they feel comfortable bringing a new movie out in the next year or two or whatever and stuff, they need to get new writers. They need to get new writers and stuff. But we never seen Susie Willis die. We never seen
That's
it.
True.
We've never
That's
seen
very
it.
True.
So
that's very, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know, man. We'll have to see. But I do think it's somebody else. It's not Stevie, because you made an excellent point, Destin. What would her motive be to go after Julie James and Carla?
Right. she'd go after Ava and Danica.
Yeah.
So that makes sense because I'm pretty sure they're going to be tagging along some way. But I could see them all getting back to the island, and Julie like, I gotta know, and they go out to that grave that he and they're digging it up, and maybe there's a body there, but it's not his body, you know, or maybe there's nothing, maybe it's empty, you know. I think that'd be crazy, you know. Like I hope they make it raining like they did the original or the second movie.
That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. That'd be nuts, man.
I will say this in regards to that idea. I don't know why I feel this. I feel like they are going to kind of take the Scream approach. And I do think the next one, we're going to end up, if not Tower Bay, some type of island. But I would not be surprised if we end up back at Tower Bay and the new girls, someone like in the original, someone like in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, they get some type of call, they win something or whatever, and that's where they get sent. And somehow,
Julie and Brandy found out.
Yeah, I don't know, but see, man, I don't know, man. Nah, because now I'm also thinking about this idea, and I kind of felt like this because you kind of mentioned something backstage that might, and I think you mentioned it here a couple minutes ago. What if Julie wrote the note, right? But what if it was more like, even though Carla's face was crossed out or whatever, what if that was just more like a kind of like a red herring type situation to make it look like it's somebody else, and these two are gonna fucking kill these girls?
Oh, and you got like two against the other two?
Like,
dude, that would be wild.
With the way this movie kind of got goofy and sometimes a little over the top goofy at times, I would not put it past it. If we have the same writers and director,
yeah. What if Ava and Danica like changes and they're like, let's go kill them, you know, or something like that. Like they're the ones that wrote the note to Julie, and they're like, let's go take out the OGs. Like,
I'll be completely honest. If they do get a sequel done, because we all know this, and I will say this, the sequel's going to happen because you've seen the poor reception. And I'm not saying this movie has gotten flat out poor reception. A lot of people do like it, but there's also a lot of people who don't.
Right.
But you've seen it with Strangers Chapter 1. You know what I mean? Didn't do that well. Wasn't well received. The second one was supposed to come out in the same year. They pushed it back, and now it's coming out this year. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So I could see a similar situation happening. But if they make a good profit off of this, they're definitely going to do another sequel, and probably fast. And it's nothing against Jennifer Caton Robinson's like directing per se. Like, I thought she got some really cool shots in this movie. I really did. But it stems from your writing. And as a director, we know you also co-wrote the story with the other writers. And I see this as a situation where there were maybe too many cooks in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe you might want to dumb down who's writing it. Maybe you decide to take more full responsibility and write it, or just get yourself a solid writer. You know what I mean? Because think about this. Leah McKendrick, who helped co-wrote this, she really does rom-coms.
Yeah.
And it's not to say she ain't got no talent to write a horror movie, but when you're used to doing one particular genre, it's kind of hard to come over to this genre and write a solid story, because when you're used to writing rom-coms, what are you used to doing? Writing some pretty like goofy stuff, right? Cheesy, you know, stuff like that. Like, so I feel like that definitely showed in this movie.
You know what I was thinking? As much, I mean, like, the one thing that does seem very well received is the mid-credit scene. I didn't love it. I mean, I love the idea, but I didn't like the execution of how it went down. I thought that Brandy should have been like, the way she was like, man, somebody's always trying to kill that girl. It's like, no, you know who Ray is. That shouldn't be your only line. You should be like, good old Ray. Like, I can't believe he tried to kill Julie. You know, it's like, you know, it was like she was just like the like you said, the writing. There it goes again. That felt very forced. She should be saying stuff like I can't believe Ray would do something like that. Like, good old Ray. Like, I guess he's not good old Ray, right, Julie? You know, when she saw him or something. Acknowledge that part that you actually know. She was saying stuff to the screen like she didn't know who Ray was, you know?
Right.
And then I think that's kind of poor writing. I can see the Wayans brothers seeing this movie and they're like, oh, we got a playground. I could see, especially with Julie and Brandy, like the way even like Julie was dressed at the end of this movie. I mean, she looked good. But I was like, I don't know. Something just didn't. I don't know what it was. It just didn't.
It was the ball cap, bro.
It was the ball cap. It was like, oh man. I'm like, man, I could see they're already like going, oh, like right, like, hey, we got jokes for days with this one. They're gonna. Oh man, and they're gonna do like the requel approach with Scream, and I know we did last summer, just like that original Scary Movie, dude. I hope that's the direction they go. But that's all I was thinking about was that, like, man, Scary Movie has some shit to make fun of. Like, right. And another thing, and I mentioned this to you on the phone or something, or maybe backstage. When Julie does pull out that letter to Brandy, and it says, I still know, or it's not over, or whatever, and then has the letter. There's more to that letter because there was like a little paragraph or something, but it goes by so quick and you don't get to see that part. And then I saw somebody on TikTok, they showed the whole reveal, but I just watched it because I already seen the movie. You know, I wouldn't have watched it, and I was like, oh man, I kept trying to pause it. I was like, there's more to this letter than what they're showing. Like, it looked like it was like a full-blown letter. So if anybody could get their hands on that,
I'm trying to look at it now.
The leaked last scene and try to pause it just right to where it's not blurry and you can actually make out everything that's said on that letter, that would be dope. But yeah, I think Ray could actually make a return. They could like fully jump the shark as, you know, bringing him back as, you know, oh, do you really think I was deceased? Remember, there's a lot of political pull in Southport, you know, and he knew somebody higher up, you know, or something, you know. You know, I don't know, dude. But definitely, if you in the trailer, we mentioned this too, and we'll talk about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene where Stevie is walking through a house, and then the fisherman jumps out the window at her. So I guarantee you that was the mid-credit scene or the very ending, was that she did survive. And you kind of assumed it, and then they even mentioned it, but she did survive. I bet you that's the mid-credit scene. She did survive, and then the fisherman jumps out after her. But then once, you know, the reception after the trailer, I feel like that they just like filmed that Brandy and Julie scene not too long ago, and was like, right, we got to put that instead. So, and then I guess they maybe say, oh, we can just leave Stevie alive and have her come back too in the next one. So, you know, I mean, like why are you giving us away that Stevie actually lived? You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's, if you think about it, it's a somewhat backhanded compliment, if you want to say, to what they did in the original film with Ben Willis.
Yeah.
With the hook, you know, with his hand being caught in the net and he's out in the sea. We know he's not dead,
mm-hmm,
you know, and stuff like that. So, but it was just stupid. It was fucking stupid. That was the most stupidest part of the movie. That right there was too much camp for me. Too much camp. Why are you sitting there having some ice cream or whatever the hell you were eating, or whatever, or eating a meal or whatever, and then you just say, "Oh yeah, so do you know Stevie's alive?" Like, can you believe that shit? Well, I mean, that was just too much, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Like, it was, the ending just felt so rushed. Everything from Stevie's reveal all the way to the actual ending, everything felt rushed. Like, it felt like the studio was like, okay, we're trying to get this out by July, so chop. And it's just like, man, it could have just been so much better executed. You could have had better motives for both. We'll get into Ray's motive here very soon, I'm sure, and stuff. Yeah. But you just could have did this entire ending. Like, I feel like this. And then we talked about it a little bit backstage, the editing choices. Like, some of these editing choices was really like, who was your editor?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
there's points it just jumps and you're just in a completely different scene. It's like,
yep.
Why? Can we not have like a reasoning why there's such a disconnect? Like, it felt like a disconnect, you know, like there were just scenes like filmed and they're like, all right, let's just piece it together. You know what I mean?
Who they should have had if they could have gotten him? Lucier.
Man, he's one of my favorites.
That's a fucking editor right there. You know what I mean? Like the more I think about it, it is starting to come down a little bit for me, but I still have fun with it. I just, again, and I said this leading into it, I wish they'd taken it a little bit more seriously. I enjoy the fun, I enjoy the camp, but I just wanted a little bit more seriousness. You know what I mean? And
yeah, and then like the whole theme of it, like between Ava and Danica says,
friends.
You know, a lot of stuff. What I'm paraphrasing, but like a lot of things could be avoided if men would just go to therapy. And I'm like, what? Like, do you know Stevie was a girl and she was one of the killers, right? And you do know that, and I think it was Danica that said it, right? And was it Danica?
I think
it might have been Ava.
Because Ava was there with Ray, and Ray was like, or she was like, but you killed Stevie. And he's like, did
That's right.
I? And it's like, oh, okay, so she's probably still alive then.
Yeah, that was a stupid way of fucking announcing that Stevie was alive, too. You were better leaving that part out and just making it seem as if Ray did a complete double cross.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then say Stevie's reveal for later, even if we knew she was kind of going to be alive anyway, just because of how it looked.
And here's another thing. If his point was to reveal himself and kill Ava, they already had them out at the boat. Why take her back and then do that reveal? Well,
it's just, again, sloppy writing.
He
was going to let her go.
That's right. He was going to let her go, but she saw the cut on his arm.
Yes. And and then they did the flashback to the fisherman getting slashed by her with the knife. And so
I knew that was going to come back.
Now you see Destin. Do you see why in the trailers, what you just said? Why take her? You had so many opportunities to actually kill her. You know what I mean? Why take her, back and all that stuff? That's why I thought that she was going to be the fucking actual accomplice. You know what I mean? Because of cuts, because of scenes like that. It's just like, man.
It just needed to cook a little bit, man. And honestly, them rushing it out to hit this release date because it is a 4th of July movie might have hurt them because of all the other big blockbusters that are right now. It's with a movie with bold choices like this, man. Like, I mean, you see Scream I think like Scream 7 like finished production, like filming and everything. Not full production, but like quit, was done, made a wrap on it. Soon after, they were close together. I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream 7. But Scream 7's still in the editing process and still in production until, the end of February. This came out right now. And, and that's what another thing, I said it before, like I was hoping that we were going to get just a little teaser of Scream in this, like on the trailer. Like we didn't get that. So I was hoping for that, man. I was really hoping for that.
Oh, me too. Waited fucking 30 minutes for previews to get it done with and just to be let down. Fucking this is getting out of hand with that, man. I
Theaters are getting AMC definitely is
Regal.
ridiculous. I'm so tired of seeing Nicole Kidman say her damn fucking spiel. Will you just fucking fuck off and turn my movie on?
Right. And if you're gonna make us wait that long, couldn't give us a little snippet of some Scream, like
man, something, man. Even like a music choice, a logo, or a title card. Hello,
something.
Sydney. Something. Ooh, that would have been just a little bit. That would have been great. King Matthew says, I think the movie was better than Scream 5. It actually did the legacy characters right, which was good to see. Man.
Ooh.
Hot take.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm glad that makes you feel that way, because that's what's going to keep these movies coming. We just got to hope they get better. Destin, you froze? I think Destin froze, y'all. It's okay. We got this. Either that or he's just fucking with us right now. Yeah, I think he froze. He did.
Yeah, he did.
That's all right, ladies and gentlemen. We got this, till he can come back on. Yeah, Matthew, if that's how you feel, that's cool, man. Because it ensures, we're going to keep getting more movies for sure, especially if they do well financially. But me personally, I humbly disagree. I felt like there should have been more, and I'll get into it because I want Destin to be able to say what he feels about it when he comes back on. What about you, though, Dom? What do you feel about Matthew's comment?
I have to say I do disagree with in your words, Marcus. I humbly disagree. I humbly disagree with Marcus, or not Marcus. Humbly disagree with Matthew, King Matthew. Because the thing is like, I think they could have done the motive a bit better. I didn't mind Ray being a killer. That's something that I think changes, and it's a good change in a way if you do it right.
Right.
So it's like if you just had the motive a little bit more, just
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're good, bro.
Oh, okay, dude. I guess my internet or something like dipped out for a second. My bad.
Oh no, you're good.
That's all good.
Okay. All right. What were you saying, Dom?
Yeah, just saying that the motive could have been better in terms of like being more interesting and just more understandable. I feel like it would have been more understandable if Ray was in that car and he was the one that got thrown off the road by the group of kids or a group of friends, because then it will make it more personal to Ray. And then of course she goes to Stevie, and Stevie finds out, it was Ray that was the one that went off the cliff and all that stuff. So she takes it personal, and then they come together and they form a plan to take them out the next summer. And so that would have been better, in my opinion. I think Scream 5 did a better job with the legacy characters. Even though, when they killed Dewey off from that, I thought it was a very emotional moment, and I think it was done well. Like, I wasn't one of those people who thought it was bad or anything. I thought that was different, and it was a great change, and it was effective, and people are still talking about it to this day. So
right.
I just think Scream 5 did a lot more things a little more better than this movie. But this doesn't take away the fact that this film was fun and it had some pretty cool like kills and moments and stuff like that. But overall, I think the motive should have been better. I think the outline of the story should have been better, like the outlining of it and how it progresses and what the scenes they should have put in and all that stuff. So yeah, I think Scream 5 did better in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree too. I think Scream 5, they did the legacy characters better. I really wanted more from Julie and Ray in this, and even Brandy whenever she got revealed to be back. Like I mean, even though it was you know short lived, you know, in the movie, but you know, I think that they did more with the legacy characters in Scream 5 than they did with this. And then secondly, the only thing that I would say is that Scream 5 played it safe when it came to like the killer reveal and the motivations and all that kind of stuff. And this one kind of took some bold choices, you know, like that's the only thing I could say is like this one was, you know, able to take some risks, you know. You know, I almost like think I would have liked this movie better if they would have just had the balls to kill Ray instead of having him be revealed as the killer. Or if they did have him, you know, revealed as the killer, just have more layers of why he is doing what he's doing. But that's an interesting point, like him going off he'd be the one that has the wreck. That would have been cool. And he could have been like, you know, I go up there every year, you know, on the 4th of July because that's where we had our wreck and that's why he was there. You know,
right?
That would have been interesting. You know, that would have been an extra layer. That's just me thinking of like reasons. Like I always want to know like reasonings why. I don't want like just like convenience. Oh, it'd be because you know it just happened, and it's like no, why? That's very convenient. Like it doesn't make sense if things don't add up.
This is how, to play off of what you guys are saying. This is how they should have did it. Ray should have been the one in the truck. It would have been a nice homage to I Still Know What You Did Last Summer because we've seen him driving a truck. He should have been the one to have the wreck. Yeah. He because, you know, he probably before, you know, he swerves or whatever, sees Stevie out there with the friends or whatever and stuff like that. And he basically forces her to help him to where the double cross is, you know, complete on a boat. Like you actually kill her to fuck off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And then like he tries to kill Ava in a more like intent way and not by her seeing a cut on him and now he has to reveal himself and stuff like that. That would have made a lot more sense and stuff in regards to him like deciding to kill these new kids.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and exactly. Stuff like that. Like, and Stevie thinking that Ray is going to spare her because of his relationship with her dad, he still decides to kill her anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's just so many ways they could have went about this reveal because I thought Freddy, the facial expressions were great. I thought that he like when he needed to look serious, he looked serious. They just didn't let him fucking cook.
Yeah. It was definitely you know, very Scooby-Doo-esque. And he was in Scooby-Doo. But yeah, honestly, his acting has developed a lot better than it was back in the original. He was, I could see him being menacing, but I wanted to see him be more menacing. I felt like he was taking his sweet time and he was just like, and like Julie showing up like she did, and then you know, and then Ava coming out and she's stabbed over her like back shoulder, and I'm like, this is taking its time. Why? Like there should be like a full blown attack going on, you know? Like,
right. Well, they had to wait for Julie to get there.
Right, exactly. And then it was Ava the one that killed him instead of Julie. It should have been Julie getting the final blow.
Yes.
You know, that was kind of, and just the way it happened, I was just kind of like, man, really? That's it. I feel like Ray didn't. I feel like Ray didn't die. To be honest, I know that the news said that. As goofy as this movie is taking itself, anything could happen. Go ahead, Dom.
maybe it's shown in this movie, in this film, that the police force and like the media and all that stuff are corrupt. So maybe the police force, maybe Ray didn't die and he's still alive and he's in medical care, and so they're telling the media to say, listen, he died, it's done, it's over, we don't want any more eyeballs on this guy and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
to make it seem like their town's safe.
Yeah.
And the next one, they could show that they changed the name of the bar. You know, it's not Ray's Bar. It's whatever, you know, something else, something happy. You know, it's a Starbucks on the water. I don't know. But yeah, I could
fuck around and be Julie's bar.
Oh, dude, that'd be crazy. Like she inherited it or something. You know? Like that'd be crazy. And quit teaching, and then what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Yeah, Ray could do the whole Stu Macher thing that we think that what's gonna happen with Stu Macher. That could be happening with Ray. You know, I think that would.
I'll be completely honest, bro. I think with the way they did his character in this, it's over.
I think he wants it to be over too. I think he was just like, yeah, I'll do this, but one and done.
Yeah, and because this was Freddie's first project, like film project, and how long?
Man, I don't know, year. Well, he was in something recently. We went to one of the streaming services, and it was like a suspense thriller, but it went straight to streaming. I didn't watch it. Maybe somebody can let me know in the comment section. But he was in something recently, so he just recently started getting back into acting. King Matthew says here, my only problem with this movie is how they brought Helen in a dream sequence without Barry. If you have Helen, you have to have Barry, in my opinion, since they were a couple. Yes, like I said, they left, you know, you bring 3 of 4 not back, and that whole sequence, like, I was like, is this the climax? Like, that's what I was thinking. I thought this was the climax for a minute until I realized we're in a dream sequence and they're pulling a Freddy versus Jason moment. Like in Freddy vs. Jason, when she has that dream sequence from the police station and wanders out, I was like, are we fucking kidding? You're definitely not taking yourself seriously now. Like you're even though that this is a dream sequence, it's still just the way it was executed.
Right.
Just, you know, it was cool to see her out, you know, see her back and all that kind of stuff. I don't like that she was the one that had the fucking dream sequence. Julie should have had the dream sequence with her.
Right.
You know? And if you do have her, you know, like I agree with Matthew here. Barry. Couldn't Barry just like come up and like put his arm around and go, yeah, that's right, babe. Kill the bitch. You know, or something. You know, like just like something. You know, and like and it's a dream. You could have done both, you know? I don't know, man. And then she like deteriorates into like this CGI zombie and shit. That looks like 1999 The Mummy.
Ben Willis, and I always know what you did last summer. I cannot believe they decided to do that. And you know, my thing is, one, like you said, it should have been Julie who had this nightmare sequence of Helen Shivers, and how you could have went about it is, you know, Helen and Barry show up in Julie's dream, and they're like fucking with her, and they're like, oh, it's happening again, like, isn't it, Julie, you know, and stuff, like, you can't escape the past, you know what I mean, like, or you just have a sequence where you hear, we take this to our grave, let me hear it, you know what I mean, from Barry,
and comes and like chokes her or whatever.
Yes, and then she like wakes up. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, and then that's where we get the scene where she's on her couch and then she, you know, back patio, like, or whatever it said. And
you're about to get something really cool right there.
Yeah. And her reaction when she saw who was at the front door, fuck.
Right, exactly.
Like, you know, like man, but this whole scene with Helen Shivers, this is going to seem like I'm taking shots, but this is what you call friendship nepotism. You know,
Yeah.
we know the director and we know Sarah Michelle Gellar are really good friends, you know,
And wanted to bring her back.
And she wanted to find a way to bring her back any shape, way, or form into this movie. And I just felt like this was such a lame way to do it. Why? Because you completely stripped Helen Shivers. I know she's supposed to be like a ghost or whatever the fuck you wanted to make her be, you know, a queen demon or whatever. But the Helen Shivers that we heard in dialogue in that scene was nothing like the Helen Shivers that we liked in the original film. Nothing like her. Yes, was Helen Shivers uppity and stuff like that in the first film? Absolutely, but she still was a character that you grew to like because she had some morals, you know, to her, even though to a degree she decided to go along with the go along. They all did and stuff, but you liked Helen's character. And this one, they just made her seem like a snob, like such a snob. Yeah. And it's just like, yo, that's not how I remember that character.
Well, I have to watch it again because the screen I watched it on wasn't like a full HD Dolby Atmos or anything like that. It was kind of like my image on the screen was kind of like washed out a little bit. Like certain things like the cut on Ray's arm, I didn't even see that. I know that's what they were implying to, but I couldn't even see that. If you could see that visibly for the audience, I didn't see it, but I was looking for it. But my image was not the greatest. And then, did they de-age Sarah Michelle Gellar?
I hear people saying that. I couldn't really tell because the theater I was in, their fucking screen was, you know, dark and it was stupid. They should have enhanced the brightness. But I couldn't tell. It looked like they might have did a mild de-age, but for the most part, she looked like she looked a little bit younger than what we've seen her when they asked her on the red carpet about her involvement in this movie and stuff of that nature or whatever. So maybe they did do a slight, did a slight de-aging, I think, but they could have fucking done without this scene. This scene to me is the worst scene in the entire movie outside of the whole, oh yeah, Stevie's dead. Those two scenes really, really irk my soul.
Yeah. And you know, and it's a cop out because it is a dream sequence. But even with that, dude, like it's still. It's no reason. It's not. It doesn't give you a pass to make it. Oh, it's serviceable because of whatever. No, if you are going to do something better. Do something. I mean, one thing I could say is that the hook looks cool in this movie. The hook looks mean. The hook looks vicious, like better than back in the day. This one looks like Candyman's hook or something. You know, like something a little sharper, a little longer and bigger. And I'm like, dang. Man, they wanted Ava and Danica to be the final girls, which they were. They both get their shine. It's just, man, it's just got that fucking, kind of mean girls, but just a girl.
Pretty Little Liars.
Pretty Little Liars or something like that. That dream sequence, I was just like, man, do not let Jennifer Caton Robinson direct a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Please don't. That's all. I mean, that's your audition right there, and that. No, next.
Well, I will say this in regards to the last comment and stuff. They did basically what the original "I Know What You Did Last Summer" film wanted to do, which was bring. They wanted. It was supposed to be Julie James and Helen Shivers who survived as the final girls going into the sequel, but Sarah Michelle Gellar was so popular and so booked at the time she couldn't do a sequel. So that's what they decided to do.
Yeah. Let me go back to this one. Stella says the Stevie actress was the best one of the bunch. I agree. I liked her more than anybody. She had the most development. She was likable. You're like, yeah, all your friends are kind of dipshits, except for Teddy.
I'm just Teddy. About to say that's my guy right there. Like that's my character, Theodore. I feel like that character. He should have lived. He should have lived. Like, and this is why, you know, and put it this way, and I said it to you backstage, Destin. This was not only a film for the new age, this was a film for the chicks. We have no final guys going to the next movie. None.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they should have kept Teddy alive. Yeah. Was he a douchebag? Yes. But some who say he's a bigger douchebag than Barry Cox. No. Hello. Barry Cox literally choked Julie James and made her agree to bury the secret. Like, you don't get more douchier than that. You know what I mean? And stuff. And on top of that, when clutch time came, Teddy did care about the girl. Like, Teddy did try to be, and on top of that, he tried to be there for everybody.
And he came back as like the protector and saved Danica's ass.
Yep.
You know? And for them to say that shit at the end, I was like, you do realize that your ex-boyfriend just came back and saved you and then still horrifically died. And now you say that, you know, guys need therapy. Like I don't know. I didn't like the message that it was trying to give. I mean, that's fine. I'm all about female empowerment and all that kind of stuff, but it's got to make sense within your story. And for them to say that in that moment didn't make sense.
Right.
Because Stevie was a girl. She was a killer. And your boyfriend that really loved you and cared about you a lot, even though he was douchier earlier in the movie, he came back and he was there for you, stayed the night with you because you didn't want to be left alone. He saved your ass from getting killed, and then he got killed in the process. So I think he deserves a little bit more respect.
I agree.
And I think he should have survived.
Yes, plus Teddy was fucking funny, man. Like, he was. Like I say, he was an asshole, but he was a funny asshole. Like, the fuck you three did on here. You know what I mean? Like, that's right, run, you little punk bitch. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be honest. That's why I say it was fun, because he made this movie fun for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
His dialogue, the way Tyreek Withers, I see why he's getting a lot of roles. He's good. He's got talent. Yeah. He's gonna go far places. You know what I mean, and stuff. And they should have let that character live, man.
And even like that scene, like where they're at Helen Shivers' grave, that felt like a stage. That didn't feel real. And why in the hell was that there? The pageant thing. Why in the fuck was that there near to her grave? That see what I'm saying? It's like it felt like they have an idea for a scene and they just plug it into the movie. And they're like, oh, this is the scene that we're going to do a callback to Helen Shivers. And we got to we're going to talk about her grave, but then we're going to end up on that. I'm like, make it make sense. Why all that is so close together? Like, I just wasn't buying it.
Right. Why would this shed where you keep the Kroger pageant set up be by a fucking cemetery?
Right.
I don't care how much of this town loves Helen Shivers and how popular she is. That's just so misplaced. And then the desecration of her grave. I'm sorry. You had Danica going, oh, Helen Shivers. She's a Kroger queen like me. Like, shut the fuck up in that moment. Right. Like, no. Like, no. That is a moment where we see Julie James go see her best friend's fucking grave, man, and put flowers down and stuff like that, like, or something, like, or put the picture there.
That could have been the climax, them ending up in the grave. I thought maybe that could be like the after climax, you know?
Yes, man, there is certain things about this movie, like, it's fun. Like I said, it's a fun, campy summertime slasher. It serves its purpose. It serves its purpose for what they were trying to do in regards to not take itself seriously and basically fuck it. We're just going to do some shit that really doesn't make sense, but it's going to be a slasher.
Right. Let's just pull some nostalgic strings. We don't care how they're connected. We're just going to be like, oh, we want to do this scene. We want to do this scene. And we're just going to throw it in there and edit it all together and see what the fuck sticks to the wall. We're gonna throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. And
right,
I mean, at the end of the day, you kind of got some inconsistent beats, what do you think, Tom? Sorry, man. We're
no, it's just funny because Dom just cut in damn. Oh shit, let's go.
What you thinking, Dom?
Oh man, just there's so much they could have done with this that could have made sense. It's just they just the whole thing with Helen Shiver's grave and how Danica, I think that's her name, Danica, and the other guy, her ex boyfriend or ex husband. I am assuming. I forgot his name. It's Marcus's favorite character.
Teddy.
Theodore.
Teddy. So yeah, her and Teddy was the one to visit Shellon's grave and stuff. It should have been Julie for sure. I agree with that.
Yeah, or they should have been, I mean, didn't they say who's been putting flowers here or something like that?
On dude's grave.
Who's doing it?
It probably was Stevie.
Why?
On the dude who crashed, that was I want to say it was her boyfriend, but it was somebody she was really close to.
Cooper.
Yeah, the dude. The one who crashed his car. Yeah, the one who crashed his car. That was the one Stevie was connected to. She was connected. I know. That was his grave, and there were fresh flowers there. So
that's right. Okay, I'm getting it twisted. I was thinking there's fresh flowers on Helen's grave.
Oh no.
You're right.
No. Yeah. Now that would have been fucking interesting.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that would have been that would have took you down a better path, I think.
Right? Who dropped these off here for Helen?
Right. Mega Giants, what's up, dude? To be fair, Ray was suspicious in the original. I just wish they would have given him more time to explain his motive. Yes, that's what we were saying, man. I think it would have been really cool if he would have been me and Ben met out here on the docks. We worked out here on the docks together, and he explained everything to me. And I told him, that you're off limits, and that would have gave his motive of why he saved her. And I still know what you did last summer. And then, he really didn't ever get a letter. He just said that to kind of say something, but yeah, you're right. He was suspicious in the original. And honestly, I'm not mad that he's a killer. I'm not. It's just the execution and the motives behind it. It wasn't done right. It felt lazy writing, and it felt quick. And as soon as it got started, it was over with. And that's one thing I fucking hate when a whodunit does that. On anything. It doesn't have to be Ray's character. It's any reveal. Don't you reveal my killer, and then in 2 seconds you take him out real quick, and then the movie's over. Fuck, that pisses me off because I'm like, oh, we're at the top. We're at the top. And then boom, we just crashed. Like you just didn't stick the landing. I hate that shit. In a whodunit, that should be your most epic and best well thought out part is your reveal, your motive, and your ending, because that's what you're leaving off on. This is what you built to. This is what we've been waiting for. And if you can't execute it right, and especially with a legacy character like that, it's how long has it been since you've seen the original?
Right.
Are you really a fan like you say you are, or are you just friends with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. and you're just, lucky to be the director of this? Things like that. They get connections and they're like, oh yeah, you want to do this? We'll let you do this. You did Do Revenge. You worked with Sarah Michelle Gellar there, which it's a good movie. Do Revenge is a good movie. Honestly, her directing for that was better than it was for this. And she did okay directing. It's just they just need better writing and better set pieces. I didn't buy the whole thing. Like when bodies started showing up at the end and everyone started revealing. I thought it was a little sloppy. You know what I mean? Like you see the bodies hanging of Teddy and his dad, and then they run over and they see Milo's car, and then there he is, and then they're both like, we gotta get out of here. Oh, y'all gotta go. Jump on the boat and go. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like,
Right.
like I was like, is this what we're doing? And if that was the motive that you're trying to isolate both of them, you're going to kill them, like, you know, and if Ray's intentions was to let Stevie live, you would still need to kill Ava at that point on the boat. Like, if this was y'all's plan together to kill Danica, you're still going to have to kill Ava too. You know what I mean? It didn't make sense all the way around. It just seemed like, well, you're already here. You might as well just kill both of them. You know, you got them right here in your back pocket. Dump them overboard.
It's just, it didn't make sense altogether in regards to, like, you know, basically Ray was pissed. Ray was pissed because basically the town of Southport and the officials covered up what happened to him and Julie back in the past.
Yeah.
This is the problem with that. And I told you already, Destin, I'm going to tell everybody in the chat and Dom too. The problem with that is that you can't have that happen. Why? It makes no motherfucking sense at all to have that happen.
Yeah.
At all. Not at all. Like, it makes no sense, man. Like, it could have been so much better. Like, why did you go in this direction? What he's mad? Why is he mad? It makes no sense. Why? Because you're mad they covered everything up, but they saved you from going to jail if they did that.
Right. You got that. That's the reason why you got away with it.
Exactly. You're mad because
that's why you're able to open up a bar in town.
Thank you. Exactly. Like, you're mad because they basically buried your past and you felt like nobody cared about your trauma in that regard. Bro, you got away with it still. You obviously went to the cops. You and Julie went to the cops and told them your secret, why Ben Willis was after you.
Yeah.
And Mr. Grant Spencer, Theodore's father, was like, well, listen, I'm trying to get this town booming. Fuck all that other shit. We gonna make money. We gonna bury all this shit. I got the cops in my back pocket. We're covering all this shit up. This didn't happen. This didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, like, and that's what you're mad about?
Yeah.
It just...
Yeah. It would have made more sense if he was like, I had to get you to come back, Julie. Something, you know.
I feel like it would have made more sense if they just would have had him mad because of the town that he knew to be Southport changed before his eyes. You know what I mean? Everything he knew to love was gone. Julie was gone. The town changed. It went from being a middle-class town to rich and uppity. Something like that. Like, that would, if you would have delved deep more into that, that would have been a better motive than what you gave us, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's something. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And Val says, I'm just throwing it out there. Ray being a killer sucked balls and his motive was weak and whiny. I said what I said. Yeah, would have been crazy. Like, part of his motive is like, do you know how expensive this town has gotten? I'm living in a fucking boat in the back.
Right? Yo, if he would have did that shit, bro, oh man. He would have. What did Randy say to this dude? That's going to improve your high school Q. Like, bro. Oh, that shit would have been fucking funny, yo. Oh man, yo. They should have had him say that now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Let me write some of this shit, dude. I'll write something good. And
how about the way they wrote both Ray and Julie's relationship?
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. Wouldn't that have been cool? Because apparently, I did hear that Jennifer Love Hewitt said in an interview, I think it was Extra or something, that that she's supposed to have like some sort of like chase scene or something happen at her house, And so I was waiting on that. And I thought that's what we were about to get whenever she kept getting like signals, front door, back door. I was kind of getting that Jenna Ortega moment at the beginning of Scream 5. I was like, ooh, hell yeah, let's do this. Now we're about to do something. And wouldn't it have been cool if she was getting chased, something happens with the hook killer showing up and getting chased, and then maybe she makes it to the front door, and then there's Ray there, and it scares the killer off, or that's what you think, kind of like how Derek did in Scream 2, or Dewey in Scream 1, whenever she's running down the stairs away from Billy, and there's Dewey at the front door. Like, dude, they could have done something really cool right there, man. We didn't really have Julie with the hook killer. That's a failed opportunity. Why don't we have Julie with a chase scene? At least. I don't know.
She was only there for emotional support.
Man, she was there for the check.
Yeah. I mean,
she said,
I mean, I feel like obviously with the mid-credit scene, it seems like they're leaning into featuring her and Carla's character more in the next one.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I wonder, how is it going to tie into these new characters and Stevie? Because when we basically kind of had this spoiled for us, Destin, I told you, if they fucking did this shit on the boat with faking Stevie's death, and we got that scene, which we didn't get that scene that was in the trailers where the fisherman jumping through the glass at Stevie or whatever. Well, now you're going to have to fucking explain why this other killer is coming after Stevie. And now why they're also coming after the other girls and Julie and them too. And I kind of feel like they still kind of have themselves in that situation because the person who wrote the letter to Julie is not Stevie. I'm sorry. It don't make sense. You know what I mean? No. So now, how are you going to fit this whole new fucking killer in here and mix it with these new characters and Stevie's motive for still trying to kill them? Well, we know she just wants to still kill these bitches. Hey, not trying to be rude, but that's how she, that's what she wants to do. So I don't know how you're going to do that because that's what it seems like the direction they're heading in.
Wouldn't it be crazy? She falls overboard, right? How does she get saved? Here comes old Ben Willis on a boat, pulling her in. I got you, girl.
Now, bro, hold on. So remember when they're on the boat or whatever, and we get these shots. Was Ray in another boat before he got on a speedboat?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's like it jumped from him being on like a bigger boat, and then he got on the little lifeboat or whatever, and to get onto the other boat. And I was like, but it didn't show him get on that boat. It was like he was on this one, and then he was on that one. And I'm like, so maybe he left the smaller boat behind so Stevie could get it?
Maybe. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I just thought about that. Now this just makes me even more nauseous.
Man, I would have liked a whole fucking sequence if they like got the boat turned around to go back towards town, and there's this whole showdown, and the boat crashes into the docks, into Ray's bar or whatever, and it was just, dude, I want epic. I want turn this shit into fucking Speed 2. Even though that wasn't a good movie.
I see what you're saying. In regards to the note, you're looking at the envelope part. Hold on. It's not the actual note itself. Hold on. I'm gonna get into the sucker. Hold on.
Okay.
I think it might just be the address. I'm not sure, but hold on.
Okay. King Matthew says was it?
Yeah, it's just the envelope with the address and Julie's name on it. But go ahead and address this or whatever, because I do have something I want to say about that. But address this first.
Okay. Matthew says it sucks that they couldn't get Muse Watson back for the dream sequence, though. Yeah, see, that would have been cool. You know, like even if it wasn't even like if they couldn't get Muse Watson back, they got his likeliness, you know, and it was CGI or something of him like walking, and they got his voice. You know, they did that shit with Spider-Man 3 where they had like Sandman. They didn't even get that actor Thomas Hayden Church to reprise his role. They just used stock footage that they had from the past Spider-Man 3 movie. And they could have done something like that, like at least for this dream sequence, man. Like I really do think that Muse Watson needs to be back, because I think that will make the sequel better, in my opinion. And I think that, honestly, I'm telling you right now, I think since we did see in the trailer that the fisherman jumps out and like after Stevie, and that got cut from the movie, and I think that got cut from the movie so they could plug in Brandy's return. If that was the original idea, to have a mid-credit scene of Stevie getting attacked and killed, I can assume that they'll have Stevie's reveal very early on, like maybe even the opening scene of Stevie being alive, but then she gets killed by the fisherman.
Okay.
I can see her. I could see Stevie dying very early on in this movie. So, just because of that's like was their idea of how to end this one, I could see them starting off doing that, and then it like the bigger mystery comes, like, oh, it can't be Stevie. Stevie just died, and that's all over the news now, and it's done kicked it off. And so Ava and Danica comes after Julie, or comes to Julie, and they get together, and then Danica or something wins a trip. I don't think they should do the whole trip thing again. I think that's too much on the nose, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did do it. Maybe something else. Maybe they just decide to leave town, but there's a couple other new friends that they've met along the way.
Right.
That they're all going on just a vacation together, and you're like, okay, somebody in this group you can't trust, and then, they end up going to the Bahamas. Who was it that mentioned the Bahamas to Ray?
Oh, Teddy.
Teddy mentioned it? Okay.
Teddy's the one who said, let's just say, fuck it, and go to the Bahamas. We'll take my dad's boat or some shit like that.
Okay. I was going to say, if it was Danica, then it's already in her mind that she wants to go to the Bahamas, so she could still, do that. She needs a big vacation after all this. But I think it would be smart if they do a sequel, pick it up exactly where this one leaves off. Not too well, I guess a year later. And that would make sense. But we do need Muse Watson back.
I think we might just. I think we may just get him.
Why you say that?
Because if you really theoretically, anyway, break this whole mid-credit scene down and you look at the picture, unless somebody broke into Julie's house and took her shit, it had to be somebody from back then who took that picture of them. Because that's from when they're sitting on the porch waiting for Will and what's his name, Ty's character to show up.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that is from that scene. Yep.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Of course, that this picture from back then, but like, again, thinking theoretically, that would have to be somebody who might have been in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we seen, maybe we didn't see. Who the fuck knows how many kids Ben Willis really got? You know what I mean? Like,
or you could say something like, if there's any new introduced characters that are friends with Julie from that college, it says, oh, we went to college together, like all that, and they say, oh, we were old college buddies. Yeah, I remember you. Then we would know that's who took that picture.
Right, something, man, because that's from when they were at that college, and Carla's wearing the cowgirl hat and shit like that, and Julie's looking all distressed because Ray ain't showing up.
Yeah,
we do have. I would say, go ahead, get to the super chat, bro.
Oh yeah. My bad, dude.
No, you're good.
We got a super chat in the house. DJ with a $2 super chat. Go DJ. That's my DJ. So this is like Columbo who done it first. Hell yeah, man. DJ, I'm not quite sure. I'm still going through the comments. Have you seen it, buddy? Hopefully I see a couple of people in the chat that have not seen it and is asking not to be spoiled on it. But the thumbnail, and I have put it in the chat, and it's also on the banner below. This is a full spoiler discussion. Just letting you know. If you care, you care. If you don't, you don't. But that's what this is. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you might not want to be here. Might want to go see it and come back. But yeah, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, DJ. I really appreciate you, man. Much love to you, man. You're always supporting the channel, and it doesn't go unnoticed, man. I appreciate you a lot.
Okay, so think about this real quick, guys, and chat. So after reobserving this mid-credit scene, we get this Julie gets this anonymous letter.
Yeah.
It's a picture of her and Carla from back in the day sitting on the college steps waiting for Will and Ty.
Yeah.
And on the letter itself, it says, "It's not over."
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, man. It's not over. That sounds like to me a Willis.
So yeah, it does.
And this is something else too, or whatnot. This is something else too. In the original moment, remember the behind the scenes credit where they show Julie's hand and it shows the envelope and it says her address, and we're assuming that's the one from the killer, and we're going to see her open it. That one in that scene is yellow. And the reason why I bring that up is because the card like that Danica had that says, "I know what you did last summer" in it and stuff like that. Those little stuff that they did with like the envelopes and the letters in this movie was supposed to like pay homage to summer itself. Like it has meaning to actual summertime and stuff. This one is pure white, black marker like Ben Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and stuff like that. So it wasn't like written in no fucking pen or nothing. This is black marker, white envelope. You know what I mean? And stuff. So, I mean,
is it the same writing as the first one?
Hold on, I can turn it over right now.
Because the one that Danica got was a little different.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
We're gonna figure this out, everybody.
Okay, so I will say, from what I mean, I'm gonna go back and look at the old one that Julie got. But from what this looks like, this does not look like Ben Willis's handwriting.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm just gonna fucking say it here right now. I've been holding on to it too long. Damn it. If they can have Danica get hooked in the fucking heart and fucking live after impact with the ocean. Yes, impact. That shit hurts. That's
and
not.
She just floated up on the fucking beach.
And she just miraculously, like a mermaid, like they said, ended up still alive after that. And then was kicking it, having some fucking burgers and shit. Will Benson can be alive. So, like, this has to be.
Can be alive. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry if you're doing that with her, because to me, she's like Chad in Scream 5 and Scream 6. You know, not to the degree, because they really fucked Chad up. But I'm talking about the placement of where the sharp, blunt object went.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So it is a big hook. It's a picture of her and Julie from back, and I still know what you did last summer. And the caption on the letter says, "It isn't over." Huh. Yeah. That's interesting. That's really, really interesting. So hey, just try to make better sense of it next time. I'm not confident. I will say this. Get a writer, a horror writer.
Get Guy Busick.
I'm okay with that.
Get Kevin Williamson back. He should, after he does 7 and 8, let him do I Know What You Did Last Summer. Come on, bring this one back too. Let's right our wrongs.
I mean, I'll put it this way. If Scream 7 and Scream 8 not only financially do well, which I expect them to, but if they're great, like if they're really good and fans, it's critically acclaimed, everybody likes them and stuff, I don't think Kevin's just going to want to write. I think he got that itch to direct too. So,
yeah.
I mean, hey.
He's like, oh, everybody's fucking up my shit. Let me go fix it.
Time to restore order in the court, damn it.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
You're out of order.
Right? I'm gonna read this off and I'll be right back. I gotta run another room for a second.
I'm gonna say if you want, I would say I can pull up the chat then and engage with everybody. I got you.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
All right. King Matthew saying I think Ray's gonna return for the sequel to go after Carla and Julie because they didn't make sure Ray died at the end, and Ben Willis said if you kill someone, make sure he actually died. Okay, so hold on. I'm actually here right now on the post-credit scene. Hold on. I'm pretty sure they said Ray is deceased. Hold on. Just give me a second, Matthew and everybody in the chat. Yeah, because people already loaded this shit up from the theater. Yep, he's declared, he's dead. I know in this movie they did lean heavily into like the authorities covering stuff up and whatnot and stuff, but I personally do think Ray's dead. I just don't. I feel like after his killer reveal has been received now, and how a lot of people don't like it, especially the OGs, I just feel like doubling down on it, especially after, kind of taking a pretty significant wound straight through the heart, in my opinion. I just think that'd be leaning way too much into the hokey stuff. And some could say they leaned into it. They went too far with it in this movie. And I'm not going to disagree with you. There were definitely certain moments where that did happen. You know what I mean? But I don't want them to triple down on the hokey stuff. And me personally I think if Ray were to come back for the sequel, they squandered their chance to make Ray Brunson a formidable killer, in my opinion. Like, you could have done something so much different and you decided to go with what you wanted to go with. And it didn't land, man. Like Destin said, it didn't land at all. And it's disappointing because I really felt like there were moments during that final act where you got to see a glimpse of Freddy kind of being intense and being a formidable killer like I hoped. But then it's like, start, stop. And then nothing else happens. And, I was really hoping in that moment that him and Julie would have had like a brawl out. I feel like if you even would have had that, motive aside, if you would have had him and Julie duke it out for a good 2 to 3 minutes, it would have softened the blow a good bit on his reveal and the motive. But you didn't do either. You had a bad motive, and you also didn't have them have a brawl out. You didn't have her kill him. Like,
yeah, she should have been the one to kill him. Wasn't it crazy to you that we kept seeing her say, "What are you waiting for?" a couple times in the trailer, and you get both of them? I was like, damn. But I feel like, once you put it together, especially from the trailers, once you put it together in regards to the boat, I said it in my trailer 2 spot breakdown video. The boat and Ray's bar are going to be intertwined. Those are the 2 integral parts in this movie in regards to our final act. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's exactly what fucking happened. And once you got those scenes of her saying, "What are you waiting for?" It only made sense that it was Ray she was saying that to, and stuff like, oh, they just could have did it so much better, man. It makes me mad.
I even thought that the Rex scene could have been better.
Yeah.
I thought that could have been a little bit better. I was like, man, that felt just kind of wonky. Like, I like the whole hand coming out and grabbing Teddy's jacket and pulling it off. I thought that was going to come back and play, like the killer was going to hang the jacket up or something, like at the gym or at his house or something, being like bringing it back, and he's like, "Oh shit, I ain't seen that jacket since then." You know, like I thought they should have done stuff like that. You know, because wasn't it in the original? I know what you did last summer. Didn't
The Crown?
No, didn't Barry's
His jacket got taken. Yeah, it did get taken. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, wouldn't that have been cool to see like Teddy go and open up his locker and his jacket's returned? Like, you know, little things like that, dude. Like simple. I'm not asking for a whole lot. I'm just asking, just tickle my pickle for a minute. You know, like I'm just saying. And also, how I know what you did last summer. I still know what you did last summer. How it was all based off that wreck. How does this go and intertwine with Julie and Brandy going into the sequel? Is there going to be a new accident? How does Stevie's situation in that accident come into this? Are they even going to make something that's going to make sense? Is all I'm saying, because giving off of this one, I don't have much faith in the writing of that they're going to make it make sense.
I'll be completely honest, and I'm not saying this to toot our horns or anything like that. We could have wrote fucking way better motives for if we were going to make these our killers in this movie with Jennifer Caton Robinson. We would have had way better motives, motives. And we would have got there way easier. They made it more complicated than what it needed to be. And I would ask her, Jennifer Caton Robinson, was it the rush in production why certain things did seem rushed in that movie?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because she's a very talented director.
Yes.
I could tell when I saw. And, Do Revenge is not a movie that's targeted towards me. But when I saw it, it kept my interest. I was like, this could have went to theaters. This is a very well-made movie. And I thought then, I was like, man, who directed this? This was really good. But, man, I don't know if horror, straight up slashers and horror is where you need to be. I don't think that's your flavor. I think you need to maybe do a reboot of Dawson's Creek. Shit, I don't know. But, not horror. Like you might want to do something a little bit more lighthearted.
It's not that, because I put it this way. I feel like she had some really good shots in this movie. There were some good shots.
Yep.
There were some really good shots. I just felt like the set pieces, a lot of them were kind of misplaced to a degree. I also do like the attention to detail in regards to the boots, how the boots had a life of its own when you would hear the killers walking and approaching and stuff. Yeah. I don't even really think it's directing, bro. If she's going to do another one, you need a full-on horror storyteller who knows what I Know What You Did Last Summer from a heart and soul of storytelling with Julie James's character and character development and character work. She needs a writer who knows how to do that. Not one or two writers. She just needs one writer, not too many chefs in the kitchen, and a new editor. That's it.
Yeah.
I feel like as a director, there were some really good shots in this movie. It's just certain editing choices, like we talked about it with prime example, the sauna scene with Teddy. You're next. And then it immediately cuts to Teddy hanging out at his house to where he sees late at night to where he sees the Gates acting funny, and then that's his attack scene.
Right. And he's like,
and it's like
6 or 7 beers in.
It's just like, well, wait a minute. Why the fuck did you feel the need to include the sauna scene then?
Right. And was it the person that was sitting across from him in the sauna? Because then that person disappears. And who wrote that? Was Stevie in that sauna? Don't believe it.
Was Ray? I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? And stuff like just certain things. But I will say this.
I could just think of some scenarios of the Waynes making fun of that scene.
When Teddy goes when Teddy goes back there and he gets close to the statue, that shot with the killer standing in front of the statue, I know some people bagged on it and said, "Oh, how can't you see him? You know, how can't you see the Fisher person?" I personally enjoyed it just for the visual. That shit was sick. I'm not gonna lie. That was a nice shot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I mean, like they were obviously trying to make it seem like he was drunk, and that's kind of how the killer got the upper hand on him. You know, and honestly, man, I thought that was the one that kind of got to me. Like he was letting him struggle and letting him lure his dad out like his bait. And, and man, that always kind of gets me. It's like, man, a father and son seeing each other die. Like that's kind of sad. That's like really deep, dark, you know? But yeah, dude, that was probably one of my favorite kills of the entire movie. You know, and I thought they could have done more with his dad, though. Also, as a character, I felt like he was very one-dimensional, and like Stella said right here, it had an ABC sitcom vibe. Yeah, I was thinking that in a lot of scenes. I was like, this feels like it was like made for TV. There was a lot of times I felt like this feels like a made for TV movie.
I will say this, though, and this is just my opinion. Maybe some might, disagree. To me, the kill on Grant Spencer, Teddy's dad, was the best kill in the franchise. The rusty fucking fish hook through the fucking opposite, he killed that, and then through the fucking throat, bro. They killed that. That was the best kill.
Yeah, that's whenever I was like, yeah, it was. That was the best kill.
We needed more of that, if you ask me.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, man. Stab fan, what's up, Stab fan? That's why they should have kept the second credit scene from the test screening where we see Stevie chilling somewhere and is killed by another fisherman. See, that should have been like the ending credit. Like you got the mid credit, and then you get the Stevie scene. That's why I'm saying it's like I think that was the original idea, but then they were like, oh, everybody wants Brandy back, so they were like fan service, and they're like. I think that they filmed that not too long ago and was able to get that into the movie. And that's when we got that thing from Brandy. It was official and all that kind of stuff. I couldn't say anything. It was supposed to be a wait and see. And then, but I think that they're still going to double down on that Stevie getting killed by a fisherman. I think that, she is alive. We're going to acknowledge that early on, and then we're going to see her get killed. And that's kind of what's going to set things off. That's what I think.
Yo, so, okay. If that's the case, so then who is this other fucking killer then? Because that's basically that comment before. If they would have put that scene in the movie, that shows there's a third killer.
I'll tell you who's the killer. I mean, Adam T's here. He's saying Brandy's the killer. That would be crazy. But Brandy's husband, I don't know that motherfucker. He might want all her friends, her past to die. He might have a motive. They introduced him.
What if it fucked around and it was Ty's brother that she never knew?
Or what if his motive is you would never quit talking about Ty was your first love. You really love Ty.
Oh man.
So I had to kill kill your past. Yeah. Ty, motherfucking Ty. Whatever they say, the dream was. But yeah, something like that, man. That'd be great. I don't want Brandy to be the killer though, but that would be funny. That'd be funny as hell. But man, dude, I keep saying it, man. I just can't wait to see what the Wayans brothers is gonna cook up with some of this stuff with I Know What You Did Last Summer. I already know that they're going to touch on Scream, but they got to with I Know What You Did Last Summer because they did in the first one. They're kind of coincide, and they're both back, so they need to. I feel like they could really do a lot with this one. Honestly,
yeah, absolutely.
I would have much rather have seen more of the podcaster situation, them investigating, them doing this and doing this, seeing more nostalgia. That would have made more fucking sense while we went to Helen Shiver's grave, while we did this, while we're here, while we're there. That would have been the connection for every fucking thing. But now, and then you could see at the aftermath, all her fans that listens to her show is now flocking in the sequel. In the next movie, you'll see them all flocking because she had this big reveal and she got killed in the process. So now everybody's coming to this town because it's famous now.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. Like that, I felt they should have really went deep more into that podcaster situation too. I didn't like how it was just shoehorned in.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff because I mean, we got the explanation why homegirl was, you know, on her way to Southport and stuff, but it felt unnatural. You know what I mean? Like it just didn't feel natural in regards to her like heading to Southport the same time Ava was. You know what I mean? And stuff. I just felt like they could have gotten there better with that character and we should have saw more of her. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. We should have saw more of that character and just another missed opportunity. She was another character. I was like, okay, well, how long are we going to see her? And then once we got to Helen Shiver's old store or whatever, I was just like, well, damn, she hasn't even, this is only her second fucking scene.
Right. I know. She was just introduced and then she was brought back just to get killed. And I was like, man, there's a much better way you could, there's your hook for the entire movie to keep the story flowing.
Right.
Know? And then you could have had the tension between the girl and Ava's boyfriend, you know, or whatever. Like, you know, because you see what they were doing at the airport at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
So, you know, just
think about this, guys. Think about this, and it sums it up, especially in regards to Ray's motive. Basically, they had Ray become a killer, being mad at the town of Southport and the higher-ups doing the exact same thing that him and Julie did, which was bury their past. Bury the sins of the past.
Yeah. What if they put Ava and what if they put Ava and Danica in like an insane asylum and want to bury the past?
Well, I mean, if they do that, then they're really going off the rails. I mean, how you just
and that's where Stevie that's where Stevie's at, and they're like they all see each other again, and then Stevie gets killed in there.
And then they're going to all have a powwow. Hey, girl, what's going on? Even though you tried to kill me, we still love you. You know what I mean? Like, no. You know what I mean?
Like, you want to get some mimosas after we get out?
Yeah, right? Bro, that's how it was. That's what made me so mad. Like, when it was just like, oh, yeah, so by the way, Stevie's still fucking alive. Can you believe that shit? Like, why? Like,
well, Freddie Prinze Jr. is coming back to do She's All That. They're doing another one with Rachel Lee Cook. He announced that on the red carpet with this movie that they're coming back together. It's in the works.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully they do his character justice in that movie, unlike what they did here. Like, again, I'll be honest, and you guys know this. I wanted Ray to be the killer because I had never seen Freddie Prinze Jr. playing that type of role, and I felt if they did it right, it would be pretty fucking good. I don't know why I felt that. And we had certain little elements. It's just start and stop, and they didn't let him cook, and they gave him a bad motive. If they would have let him cook, and if they would have gave him a good motive and give him and Julie a proper fight scene, I guarantee those who don't like the fact that Ray is a killer would have been at least accepting to be like, you know what, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they shit the bed with it, man. Like, so many questions from the past now that we won't get answered. And that shit is going to haunt me, man, because it's just like, there's things I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, it's just like, man, but ain't this some shit? I enjoyed the movie. I watch it again, just, to see some motherfuckers get slashed up. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go see it again too, yeah.
But isn't it crazy for all the bad storytelling choices and non-character development and stuff like that, they still kind of found a way to pique our intrigue into watching a sequel because of that note and because of that picture with Brandy's face being crossed out and it's saying it's not over. Because now, especially in regards to what it is, it's just like, wait a minute, could it be actually somebody from their past? Like, in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer in that universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they still got you a little hooked in. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if you're gonna,
Because now they had the opportunity to focus more on the legacy characters.
yes, but I'm almost to the point now, bro. For all this, they should have just kept it. I'd rather them set it up for Ray and Julie to be involved if Ray and Julie both would have still been together and lived outside of Southport, and these kids then went to them for help, and then Ray battling the fisherman either dies or we leave it ambiguous, like kind of like Dewey to a degree. You know what I mean? Like to where he's still alive, but you know, he's fucked up. You know what I mean? Because it's just like you gave him a bad motive as a killer and you just didn't do it right. It's a waste, man. Like it's such a waste of an opportunity, man. Like
yeah, it is. Weak ass fade Stan says, "What was the lady's name who worked at the bar? Maybe she survived. Want her lick back, or she wants to get back at him. Stevie, I think that's who he's talking about.
Oh,
Who worked at the bar? Stevie, right?
I think he's talking about and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Jennifer Esposito's character.
Oh yeah. You know, she's like a director now. She just made like some sort of like mafia movie or something. But yeah, that, you know, if they do go back to that area, it'd be cool to see like some throwbacks to her character, like maybe her pictures up on the wall behind the bar or something. You know, something.
Right.
But yeah, that would be cool. I'm gonna slash and gash and cut a new hole in your ass. Since it's a really camp slasher, I think they're going to go supernatural yet again. It's been done twice. Undead Ben or Will is back. Just undead, or he ends up undead by 3. Dude, wouldn't that be crazy if they really do it that way, but they do like a high budget one with all them? Like we actually get like Ben Willis coming back from the grave, you know? Like okay, think about this though. If we get back to the Bahamas, Bill Cobb's character was all about this voodoo shit. And you got Ben Willis's grave right there. And somebody got a hold of his voodoo shit and went over to that grave and did some voodoo shit. And then the hook comes up out the ground. I'm back.
I mean, I'll say this, given how like not so serious this movie is, they would probably do some shit like that, man.
At this point, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. Do it. We're gonna go with this song. Let's go full. Let's go mummy. Let's go mummy hook, man. What you think?
Man, I don't know, man.
We woke Dom up. Dom, what you got to say?
Sounds good.
Oh, you like it? Okay.
Mummy.
Listen, man. I mean, for me,
what if they did the whole? What if they did the whole where Ben Willis is like possessing somebody, being the killer, is in somebody else's body, and it's the hook killer. It's one of our characters, but they're possessed by Ben Willis, by some voodoo shit.
I'll be honest, I didn't really care for the voodoo angle, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't know, man. I want them to let the man rest if he's dead. And now, if he's not dead, by the grace of good Lord, he survived those bullets. And I mean, maybe he could have, maybe for all we knew, he had a fucking vest underneath that fucking slicker. We don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. But if he does come back, make it believable. Because I'm sorry. If you get you're already greenlit for a sequel. If the studio sees that this is profitable enough, they're going to want to get that sequel out. So in this sequel, in order to drive people to want to see this movie, now this is the time, in my opinion, where okay, you did your movie when you wanted to have a lot of fun and be a little bit ridiculous. Now you kind of got to be a little bit more serious.
Yeah, kind of make it a little bit more grounded and believable. You want to get back to the roots to it. Let's get back to the roots now. And that's
Right.
you're gonna have to bring back, Will Benson and his dad. Bring them both back. Dude, they're gonna have to do something. If you're gonna bring, there's got to be something, man. It's I mean, you can have like an extra killer too. You could have like a new surprise, but you got to bring it back. He is the hook killer. You know what I mean? Like he's the original. That's what's going to make sense. That's what's going to be the darkest. I mean, if you can have all these, if you can have Danica wash up on the shore and be a fucking mermaid, you can have Muse Watson come back or Will Benson. I agree, dude. I completely agree. Val, thank you for that. Yes, go subscribe to Marcus.
Thank you, Val.
Shot up 6 times. Super awesome content. Dom's channel as well. Go subscribe to both of them. Links are down in the description as well. And we are going to be wrapping up. We're about 2 hours in. It is getting late. We got about, we're fluctuating between 15 to 20 people, sometimes 23. It's been a good watch. It's been a great more to discuss on further episodes because I still want to talk about this movie. I still want to go see this movie again and see little things that I might have missed, or something, and maybe see it on a better screen. If they're having it like on like a Dolby Atmos screen, I'd like to see it on that because it'd be a really crisp image. So yeah. Are y'all going to go see it again in theaters, or y'all just going to wait? I think this movie's going to. Honestly, I haven't been looking at the numbers. I don't know if this is making its money or not this weekend. But I
made
can see
$6 million the first night.
Thursday or Friday?
Thursday.
6 million?
Yep.
Okay. Where are we at now after Saturday?
Hold on, give me a second.
I know the numbers are going to start rolling in tomorrow. But I really see this movie making a lot more money when it hits streaming and DVD sales and Blu-ray. I can see a lot of people buying this whenever it goes on Vudu.
Yeah, I can see people watching it once in the theater and then just waiting until it comes on streaming.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. I think it's going to come out quick too, honestly. Stab Fan says, yeah, Julie becoming a killer wouldn't work, whereas in my opinion, Ray does because there was always something off about him in the other movie. Yeah, absolutely. I just wish they would have executed that just a little bit better. Thank you again, Val. Thank you for all my moderators that are here and that support the channel and keeping up with it. And I know I'm a little bit behind. I wasn't able to get to everybody's comment. We get kind of, in conversations, we get behind, and it's just impossible to get to everybody's comment. But I do appreciate everyone showing up tonight. So we are going to be kind of like winding down in the next 3 to 5 minutes. We're going to call it a night. But I hope everybody did enjoy the movie for the most part. I still got a lot more I want to talk about, but we're going to have to do another stream. I'm getting so tired.
Hold on real quick.
What you got?
Hold on real quick, because it's saying it's looking like it's doing about 13 million. I don't know. Hold on.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna. It's not a very expensive movie to make. Compared to a lot of other movies, especially the blockbusters that are out right now. But it still needs to be successful. Because they can plan sequels all day long and be like, oh, it's greenlit. But if this movie is like doesn't work financially, doesn't work with audiences, they might be like, we'll go back to the writing board and come back out in 5 years or something, Yeah, Adam, that really did shock me too. I just wish that was kind of executed a little bit more too. That was one surprise that I kind of assumed from breaking down the trailers and everything, and all of us always, you know, discussing and theorizing and stuff of like who the killers are. Not a big shock. But that scene with Sarah Michelle Gellar did shock me, but not in a complete good way.
Yeah.
But it was a surprise that I was like, oh, something surprised me. Like, wasn't expecting this. Jennifer Love Hewitt already confirmed a sequel way before the movie came out. Yeah, she did. But just like I said, you know, I know I'm a little bit behind, but.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, you know, there are films sometimes that say they have the plan for a sequel or a universe or something like that, and it just the first film didn't work out, and they just like, oh, let's just go scrap that and go back to the drawing board, like you said, Destin, like go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I mean, like look at the Dark Universe. I mean, they had like plans for all those sequels for all the mummies and all that stuff, and it just didn't happen because it wasn't well received.
Yeah.
Okay, so the original movie debuted over the weekend at 15.8 or whatever million for its opening weekend. The original movie. Yeah. This movie is saying it's tracking for a domestic opening weekend of 11.4 million to 14.7 million, with a Thursday night preview showing of 2.2 million, not 6. The film is projected to earn around 17 million in its opening weekend.
Okay.
It says initial critical reception is similar to the original movie, but the box office performance is expected to be modest, according to Time magazine.
How do they know like
and
it's going to be modest on there
or whatever? So I guess according to the budget of the film or whatnot, and according to what ticket sales have been coming in and the numbers they're tracking through ticket sales and all that and stuff. So the budget for the movie was reportedly made with an $18 million budget. So basically they'll make their money back opening week. Now it's what comes after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. If this movie makes anywhere close to 75 to 100 million, they're going to want to do another sequel and fast.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I mean, I could see it coming out like next July, you know. And honestly, I don't know if they need to do that just because of these numbers. I think it would be better if they came out in August, possibly. You know, like let the blockbusters get their thing, and it. I mean, it's just right dab in the middle of like too much, and I know you want to hit that 4th of July thing, but man, that's even though it's a 4th of July movie, I just don't think I think a lot of other people are going to want to see something action and you know, which they are. I mean,
right?
It's too much. Superman and Jurassic World, you can't compete. I don't think anybody can. So I think it just like even though even back in the day, some of the Halloween movies didn't come out in October. They came out in different months. You don't necessarily have to do that. So, or it could come out earlier. Let it come out in like March, and then it hits like release. You know, maybe April, maybe May or something like that, like Memorial Day weekend around that. Which that's when blockbusters really start amping up. But you know, like somewhere around then, and then let the when it hits streaming come out around closer to 4th of July, and still get that revenue.
Right.
So yeah. Hey, what's up, Ryan? Good to see you. I'm not sure if you've ever been in the chat, but glad to have you. We are wrapping up the stream here. I know I'm a little bit behind, way behind. Wow. Okay. If I didn't get to your comments, I do apologize. I will try to go back and go through them. But this has been a really fun chat, really fun stream, guys. Thank you for being a part of this. Everyone, go subscribe to my guest on my panel, Dominic St. Clair, Dama Lama Ding Dong. Go check him out because we do live streams over there all the time, and he has great content. And go subscribe to my brother from another mother, Marcus, over at A Shot Up 6 Times, because If I'm not doing this right here, I'll be over on his channel talking shit. So go sub to him too. So yeah, like we said, 3 men and a baby. So hang out with all of us. Yeah, hooligan, because we always hooliganing around. But thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of this tonight. I'll see y'all backstage. Chat, I love y'all. Thank you for the super chats and thank you for the love. It even seems like in this chat, it's mixed. You know, and even like just like all the audiences, it's like some people did not like certain elements and some people thought it was great. You know,
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of wild. So this conversation is going to be going on for quite some time. So till the next stream, I love y'all's faces. We'll see y'all later, or we'll see you on another time. And how's it go? Dama Lama Ding Dong?